Charlie also saw Horia at this time. Seeing her wearing a supermarket green vest, he suddenly felt a little funny. What he thought of was when Horia was doing coolies in the black coal kiln. Wonder if the black coal kiln gave Horia the work clothes at that time? Don't even know what Horia looks like in black coal mine work clothes. Horia felt extremely uncomfortable at this time. She really had a hard hatred for Charlie. When she said Elaine, Charlie rushed over and broke her good deeds. That's not counting. The worst thing was that Charlie donated all her money to charity and then sent her to the black coal mine. Thinking of the time in the black coal kiln, Horia felt uncomfortable and wanted to die, and she couldn't help yelling angrily, "Damn Charlie. It was he who sent me into the black coal kiln, and I spent so many days in the black coal kiln. I paid so much, but got a whole body of venereal diseases and a child. If it weren't for him, how could I be so miserable today?" The more she thought about it, the more she gritted her teeth at Charlie. So, seeing Charlie come to buy something, she immediately said with a cold face, "Thank you for changing the cash register. I am temporarily suspending service." Charlie was not angry, and smiled and said, "Auntie, aren't you bullying the honest people? We have been in line for so long before we get to the front. So many people have also checked out before, so how come we are here? The service is suspended." Horia said annoyedly, "I want to take a break, can't we suspend the service? Do you think this supermarket belongs to you? Follow me here. I tell you, I just won't tie it to you today. You love it. It's impossible for me to find a knot." Jacob was dissatisfied, and with a bit of anger, he said, "I said sister-in-law, you are a bit too much. We are the customers here, and the customer is God. You are the cashier here. You have to serve God well. Are you still standing up with us?" When Horia heard him say that she has to serve the God, she was immediately furious, and she shouted, "Jacob, how'd I say it is your sister-in-law? You serve, do you have a sense of respecting the old and loving the young in your heart? Get out of here. Don't bother me." Jacob exploded immediately and blurted out, "You are still an elder brother's wife. It's like a mother. You are a stinky lady who deserves to say these words to me." Horia slammed the code scanner in her hand and shouted angrily, "Jacob, who the hell do you think you are?" Jacob pouted his lips. "Say it, why? Can't I?" Horia bitterly said, You say one more thing, I will scratch your old face." At this moment, a man in a full uniform shouted angrily, "Number 8, what are you doing? Why did you yell at the guests?" Horia was shocked immediately. Looking up, it turned out to be the manager of the cashier department. For fear of offending the leader of the supermarket, she was swept out, so she hurriedly explained with a smile, "I'm sorry, manager, I met my relatives, so I just made a joke." After that, she pointed to Jacob and said, "This person is called Jacob. He is my husband's biological brother, my relative, don't mind." Hearing this, the manager of the cashier department eased a little. Recently, supermarket cashiers are in short supply. The cashier manager often looks at a large number of customers waiting in line to check out. Many customers even call the group to complain because the cashier time is too long, and he is also very troubled. Originally, Horia came to look for a job today, and she applied for a day job for 100 yuan. However, after chatting for a few words, he heard that Horia had studied at university, so he asked her to try to collect cash. The cashier work is not too tiring, and 105 a day, 50 more than the handyman type of work, so Horia naturally agreed happily. If there is no problem, the manager is naturally willing to let Horia continue to do it, but if she dared to scold customers at the cashier, then this person would definitely not be able to stay. Fortunately, she was joking with her relatives, so there is nothing to be harsh. So, the manager reminded, "You still need to pay attention to the impact in the workplace, and your relatives should not make jokes in the workplace. Understand?" Horia nodded her head hurriedly, and said flatly, "Don't worry, there will be no next time." The manager hummed, turned and prepared to leave. At this time, Jacob said, "Hey, are you the manager here?" The manager turned around again. "Yes, I am." Jacob said coldly, "I want to complain to you." The manager asked in surprise, "You complained against me?" "Why?" Jacob pointed to Horia and said angrily, The employee under your hand has personally attacked and verbally abused me for no reason. You don't even want to ask. This is an obvious dereliction of duty. Do you usually condone your subordinates like this? The manager looked puzzled. Aren't you two relatives? Jacob cursed. Bah? Who is her relative? The manager was even more puzzled, pointing to Horia. She said it. Jacob said contemptuously. Believe what she says? It seems that you are indeed negligent. I also said that you two are relatives. Otherwise, how could you indulge and shield her so much? The manager sighed in his heart and asked hurriedly, Sir, are you not relatives with Horia? Jacob raised his head high and said coldly, Of course not. I don't even know her. My son-in-law and I came to buy things, and the queue finally arrived at us for a long time, but she insisted that she wants to rest and let us go. The other team, isn't this deliberately making things difficult? And she just said rudely to me, You should have heard. The manager panicked, and quickly looked at Horia, and asked, What the hell is going on? If you don't tell me clearly, you don't have to do it. Horia was also terrified. When she saw Jacob and Charlie, she unconsciously had a fit of strong anger in her heart, so no matter what it was, she gave Jacob a start. But what she didn't expect was that Jacob went to complain to her manager. Isn't this about breaking your own job? Thinking of this, she hurriedly pleaded, Jacob, please tell the manager, we are a family, and I am your sister-in-law. If I did something bad, I apologize to you, but don't take it. My job is not a joke, I beg you, okay? Jacob glared at her, and said to the manager, Look at this person, and I'm still talking about her. I fucking don't know her. She opens her mouth and is my sister-in-law. Shut up, still my sister-in-law. You can bear it instead of me. I can't stand it, Horia hurriedly explained. Manager? Don't listen to his nonsense. I am really his sister-in-law. Jacob looked at the manager, patted him on the shoulder, and asked him blankly, If I say now, I am really your father, do you believe it?